Hi and welcome to Darvanalee Design Studio. My name's Nicole Ree and today in part 2 of our two-part series we're going to take our rope that we made last week and turn it into this gorgeous fat quarter storage box. So let's get started. Alrighty, so I'm assuming that you've already made your rope from last week's tutorial and I'll link that up in the description down below. There are a few other things that you're going to need today. So first of all, you're going to definitely need a hot glue gun and also some spare glue sticks just in case you need them. Okay, you're also going to need some scissors. You're also going to need some sort of storage solution, like box. So this one here is a kid's shoebox from one of my daughters, and you can see here that fat quarters fit into it quite nicely. So that's what it's going to be used for on my shelf, and two of these actually sit side by side nicely on a bookshelf. So let's get started on this. Okay, so now I'm assuming that you have plugged in your glue gun and you're ready to go. Mine is still heating up. It should be just about ready to start coming out. Yep, that's it, it's ready to go. You'll need to have some sort of plastic mat or something like that so you don't get hot glue all over your tablecloth or anything like that. You're going to need your rope and you're going to need your box. Now we're going to start first of all by you can see here I've got the little bit of a knot there. Okay, I'm actually going to undo that now. It was just to get the rope started. Okay, so you can see it's still staying together, and I'm just going to twist that all the way to the end, and underneath it I'm just going to, between the two strands, I'm just going to put a little dollop, sorry, of hot glue. So just a little bit, and then I'm just going to pinch those two pieces together. And you can see it's sort of flattened it down. This is perfect for getting this started. So that's our start point, and I generally start in this corner here. So on the shortest part, and it doesn't matter if your box is a little bit damaged because the rope's going to cover it. So in this corner on the short side down the bottom, I'm actually going to start by placing the rope right along the edge, which means that half of this is going to go underneath. You can see that it's going to wrap like that. So that's how we're going to get started. So what you do is you put a dollop of glue just around and a little bit right along the edge, and you quickly, before it dries, place your twine right on the corner there, and that way it's going to hold in place. So you can see that. So you can see there it's gone around underneath and it's up the side, but it's flush along the edge here. So what we're going to do is just keep adding some hot glue. You don't have to go right along. I just put a couple of little dollops here and there and just bring it along, and I'll hold it in place, and then we come around to the next side and we repeat. So you can see I'm just putting a little bit, like half a trigger of glue all the way to the end, and then I get my twine and I just pop that on there, and that is enough hot glue to hold that in place. And you want it to be a little bit taut as well. You don't want it to be loose, and be careful that the glue is hot, and it will ooze out a little bit at the bottom, but we can pick that off a bit later. And once you feel that that has set and you can move on to the next side, then you just roll it around, and when we get around to where we started, I'll show you what we do. Just put a little bit of pressure on it and it'll just hold it in place. You can see there it's not coming apart, and we just keep going around, always making sure that on your corners you do put a dollop of glue, because that, if anything, that is where it's going to slip from. Okay, so we're back to where we started from. So what I want you to do is put a dollop of glue just there. Okay, it doesn't have to be a large one. and that will get it to come around. Okay, and we just keep going along the edge of that last row. So I just use about, I don't push the trigger on the glue gun all the way in, so it's about half way in I push it, and that's just enough of a dollop to adhere this down. And you want it probably about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. I'd probably go 3/4 of an inch of a gap between each squirt. So you can see there it's just starting to come together nicely. As I said, always put a squirt in when you're turning a corner of hot glue, and that way you can make sure that it is holding in place. Now you would have seen just then that I had a bit of glue. It was higher than where the rope was going to end, so I just grabbed it and pushed it down and slid the glue down with the rope, and you can see that's just adhered in place and you can't even see the glue. So we just keep going. So we're coming up to our last row now, making sure that we've got enough on the corners, giving them a really good squeeze so they're down okay. Okay, so I'm up to here where this is where it's going to end. So what I want to do, the same as how I began it, I just want to snip that little bit off. We just get a little bit of hot glue in, just separate the twine a bit. So I've cut it off and I've just separated it, and what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue, just a tiny little bit, and then twine that back around on itself so that doesn't come apart. And then just where I've got to finish it, I just put another little dollop of glue, and that will just hold it nicely in place. Okay, so you can see these little bits here. What I do now is I just go along with my scissors and I just snip those off. I didn't snip them off earlier because sometimes they add to the character of, it's just what, you know, the character of the project that you're doing. But I just wanted to make sure that they weren't going to be, I didn't want to cut them and then cut them too close and then they come apart, which it shouldn't if you've wound it on properly, but just in case. But there you go. So that is our little fat quarter box. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed our tutorial on how to take your scrap and turn it into rope and then into this gorgeous little fat quarter storage box. It's quite a cute and fun, quick project to make, and I hope you really liked it. If you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up down below. Hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and that way you won't miss out on any future posts. My name's Nicole Reid for Darvanalee Design Studio. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.